Hey guys, today's video is talking about how to get your first client this week for accountants and bookkeepers. I hopefully having a really good day. My name is Bryce Tubbs. In today's video, we're going to be really jumping into this important topic because most people, when they're first starting out, like they're trying to get their first client. That's like a big pillar that most people will shoot for. Almost everyone that starts a business wants to get their first client. So it's imperative that you understand this information to be able to go and do it. Now, because like when you get started, most people are super hyper focused on it. Because I know when I first got started, I really wanted to get my first accounting client because I was just running out of time. Like I had just quit my job and I was super anxious, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I need to make this thing work. And I was like, I just need to make this work. I need to make this work. Like I was obsessed with it. Okay. And I got frustrated really quickly because the only methods that were really that I knew of were cold calling. I would have like a stack of papers, and I would literally just like walk into like the door to door of these different businesses, and I would literally go inside. Like for example, I would go into like jewelry stores because I went after jewelry stores for like the first month because one, I knew that jewelry store owners, I knew it was gonna be really hard for them to be like, hey, go away, right? Because they kind of pride themselves on wanting to talk to people and building relationships. And I knew there was only like really one or two lines of defenses for me actually being able to speak to the owner. So it'd be like either be like their assistant who's in the front or it'd be like the owner, right? Because usually a lot of jewelry stores, especially if it's like a single owner or like a pretty small kind of like not a chain, but just like an individual store, you knew the owner was going to be there because it's small enough just to be there. Now, it's either that you get there and it's like the right time or you're talking to the owner. And that's why I was doing it. But I would do like, like 10, I would drive for like, 10 miles, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away to try and get into one of these places. And then probably the owner wouldn't even be there that day, or if you're trying to like surprise them. And then it was just like so frustrating because I was just so confused. Then I would try and like do cold calling. For example, I would go on like Google, like I would use like Google Maps or just Google like certain business titles. And I would try and see if I could just get it. So it'd be like different industries on a different day of the week, and just whenever I kind of feel it, I would just try and do it. And I even got a list from a local community college where it was like all the new businesses that had started out over like the past, it was like 1 to 2 years. So I was just calling like, "Hey, you want some help?" And then they hang up on me. Hey, do you want some help? Yeah, my name is Bryce, and then we do hang up on me, right? And I'm just like, would you like some help with your accounting? Hang up. And it was just repeatedly over and over and over again, right? Just so challenging. So I did that for about a month. And like every day I would do like about an hour spent cold calling, like about 20 to 30 calls where I would try and get a client. It just didn't really work at all. So I had to start developing systems to be able to go and grow my business. Awesome. Bum, 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 bum. So these are what we've kind of learned over times. Now, nowadays, I help other accountants and bookkeepers help start and grow their business to six-figure level in the same way that I did. Now, if you want some help doing that, like maybe you've been trying to watch, like maybe even watch some of my videos, or maybe you're just tired of not having full control both over your life and your income, that maybe you started a business for. Maybe you started a business because you didn't like your job and you didn't like what you were doing previously and you came into this field, right? So maybe you're trying to go really quickly. And so you can start supporting your family and so you have more free time so you can really control your income. And if you're not at that level for whatever reason, I just invite you to go ahead and click the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program to really see if it's like right for you and your family. Now, it's not for everybody. Just being completely honest, it's not for everybody, right? For the people who it is right for, we do have a really proven track record of getting from zero to anywhere between like 10,000, like $20,000 per month of sales inside your business. So if that's something you want to finally be able to get control in your life, go ahead and click the link inside the description below. I'd love to see you on the call. Okay, so how to do this, how to get our first client. So number one, you have to be able to pick your platform. So when I started, I was freaking out, right? Because I was always like really using a bunch of different random things. So I was trying to do like Upwork, the cold calls networking, the Instagram, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, and it was really hard because I never really got good at any one of them. Now, what I encourage most people to do nowadays is choose two platforms that you're really going to specialize on. So I like LinkedIn, right? That's my primary social media platform. Secondary is Facebook. Now, for most people, the platform they need to be using is either LinkedIn or it's going to be like Instagram, right? Because like most people, it's hard to get clients on Facebook. I happen to be good because I've just learned it over time, right? But for someone who's just getting started, Instagram is a little bit easier because it's better to build relationships on. It's more visual, so people can actually kind of like understand what you have going on and see things a little bit better, right? So the reason why it's important is because if you pick two platforms, one is going to be inherently easy for you. Like it's just maybe like the one that you have grown up with, or maybe one that you just like have learned since the beginning, right? Like if you've been using like, LinkedIn since before it was even a social media platform, like back when it was just like for doing resumes, you probably understand the platform way better than you understand like a TikTok, which is like 5-second videos and just like, kind of crazy, right? So you pick the one that's most familiar to you. Then second, for the second one you're going to be using is the one that's going to be like more of a long-term kind of effective platform, right? Because everyone's thinking about how to go and get their first client really quickly. But what happens after you get your first client? Right. Because that's going to happen. Like, as long as you stay in the game, you're going to get your first client. But it's like, but what happens after you get your first client? For most people, it takes them another 6 months to get their second client, right? If instead you start working with someone who knows what they're doing, like, it's okay, right? So it's like, not only are we going to want to get our first client, but I want to make sure that once you get your first client, your next clients come within like well, probably your next 10 clients come within like a span of like a week or even a month, right? Oftentimes, if you ever look at like our student result, right, you're going to see that like they get clients in bunches. It's not just one or two. Now, I know if you're getting started, like you don't want to get overwhelmed, right? That's okay. You don't have to be overwhelmed when you do it. We can kind of like increase the volume or decrease the volume based on your experience level, based on the time that you have to spend on the business. A lot of different factors will allow us to kind of manipulate the business and manipulate our marketing so we can get the clientele that we're really looking for. So that's number one. Now, a good example, this is my student JT. And so JT, for his two platforms, he chose to do Facebook and LinkedIn. So he's very similar to me, right? Because LinkedIn, because you can just go and connect with a really large amount of people. And second one that he chose is Facebook. Now he uses Facebook because he can use Facebook groups really, really well. And he was in the nonprofit space, so he could just join Facebook groups for nonprofit, which was his core market at the time. Now he can build relationships, get them on the phone really, really quickly, and they're paying him money at a really high pace. So those are his two methods that he chose. Now, the reason why he chose that was because he had been trying to use like Instagram, and he tried to use like different email, like he tried to do like Instagram, email marketing. He even did some Facebook ads and Upwork, but those platforms just didn't really work for him. And there was just two different platforms that he was on that was really spreading him very thin. He didn't get any kind of like it's if you have so many platforms, you can't get any mastery of it, right? And like mastery is really the thing that you need because the marketing should not be the hardest part of your business. You should be focusing 90% of your time eventually on like doing the actual client work and maintaining your clients, right? So you just need to be able to use social media just enough to be good enough to get clients on a consistent basis, but you don't want to be a master of social media. Okay. So you narrow it down and you put your emphasis on those two platforms that are going to work best for you. And then once you know the right way to utilize those platforms to get in front of business owners, then it's about really, really just focusing on those, not getting smarter than what you are. Like don't try to become a social media guru. Like don't worry about filming videos. Just learn how to use the platform at its base level and just be consistent. Because if you're consistent with it, you're going to get a consistent outcome and a consistent return over time. So I think for JT, he got up to about $15,000 a month in about 7 months of working together. And it's all because we just focused really intently on those two things. Now, people that, were going to pay him money, and then we just kept moving, just kept moving, just kept moving forward. Okay. So now next, number two. So the reason, the reason why I like focusing on this next thing is because it's all about targeting higher revenue types of clients. So whenever we talk about Facebook group, the reason why Facebook is hard is because most people when they're starting out, they're going after solopreneurs. So they're trying to go after photographers, like individual truckers, independent contractor, truckers, etc. Right? And they go after hairstylists, salon artists, or like eyelash people. Now, you don't want to go after businesses where it's only like one person side of their business or they're just an independent contractor. What you need to be shooting for are businesses that already have multiple contractors underneath it. So rather than go after the individual like a barber, you need to go after the person that owns the barber shop. So not only can you get the person to pay you, who's like the person who's used to hiring out contractors and spending money to grow their business, but you can also get a flow through from all the independent contractors that are underneath them. So let's say you're going to like a barbershop owner. If you get the shop owner, right, who manages a lot of independent contractors, you're going to also get independent contractors to flow up to you. So not only did you get like $1,000 a month for the barbershop, but now you have a stream of like, we'll say $150 a month clients underneath there. 10 clients for $150. That's about, what is that? $1,500 plus whatever you're making up here. So now you're at $2,500 a month from that one establishment. But we don't start bottom up, we start top down, if that makes sense. Right? You don't go after each individual barber and then hope that you get the shop. You go after the shop, you get the barbers. Cool. So not only do you get it, but yeah, so it just makes things a lot easier, because you always want to make things as easy for yourself as possible when you're starting to grow your business. So I have like a lot of notes on this thing, so that's why I'm kind of like reading and looking down. And also, another reason it's important again, because remember, it's about systemized thinking when we're doing this stuff. It's not just about hunting down clients. It's not just about hunting down clients. Okay. It might feel like it in the beginning, but I'm trying to get you to a spot to where you don't need to keep feeling like you're on a hamster wheel 24/7. I'm trying to get it so that you can start playing checkers while everyone else who's getting started in the business is playing chess. Okay. They just don't have the forethought to be able to move and be able to grow the business the way that you need to in order to find success very quickly or very easily. Now, a good example is actually going after like HVAC, construction, restaurant, auto shops, etc. Basically, you need to go speak to people who have a higher likelihood of paying you more money. Okay. So I like construction. Some people don't like construction. A lot of different, some people like a lot of different like opinions out there. Now, restaurants, for a long time, I did not like restaurants because I thought they were really cheap. But the more I just worked with students inside the mentorship program, I noticed a lot of students were really liking restaurants because when you get inside the right one, if they have multiple locations, they're not only able to pay you like $1,000 or $2,000 for a location, but you multiply it by the number of locations. So let's say they're paying $1,000 a location. Okay, now you're at $6,000 a month. They have the six locations, and every time they open up a new one, they add the $1,000 per month onto whatever you were charging. So it's very, very easy to kind of grow if you get inside like the right one, or maybe it's like a franchise owner or like a chain. So I do really, really enjoy that. Even someone like an HVAC company. So, for example, one of our students named Laura, she got $1,000 a month client, right? And she was like, "Yeah, I came to the meeting and I was so afraid because that was the most money she'd ever charged to that point, right? That's about a $12,000 per year contract, and she was really nervous about it because she was just like, I've never charged someone that much money. And the guy I just met, like the person, like 3 days ago, and there was a lot of just like emotions kind of running through her. And a lot of people have that. Like I know I did with the first time, like I got a really big quote or a quote that was just bigger than what I was used to. I would do like super, super annoyed or not annoyed, sorry, super, super nervous and just kind of like, oh my gosh, can I actually handle the client? Like, oh my gosh, can I actually do this? Like, what happens if I can't do this? Like, what's gonna happen? And then she was really nervous about it because she was like, yeah, you've never charged someone like that much money. And I told her, hey, relax. Stick to your fundamentals. Utilize your sales script. So we give you guys like a sales script whenever you're inside the program to kind of give you an easy understanding of like what to say in your calls. So even though you're nervous, you still have the ability to go and say the right things over time, and you can really overcome those nerves. Hmm. There's a lot of little things that we kind of help within the mentorship program. So just makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of do stuff. And just even though you're scared or you're nervous in the moment, you have the fundamental and the competency and the skill set to fall back on your fundamentals and your basics that allow you to be consistent in your process to go and make more money. And then she ended up getting the person to go to the $1,000 a month, not even batting an eye. And I was like, yeah, you're really valuable. So of course he's gonna say yes. That's the point, right? You know your price, you know it's appropriate based on your calculators that we give you in the program. You have your sales script, you do it over a number of period of time, and then people want to work with you. Just that's why you do stuff. That's why you do things the right way. So then she just had to find her confidence. Then I think she even went and got a client. Like the next client she got, it was like I think about like 7 or 6 days after the first client. She basically quoted the person $6,000 per month. Now she ended up actually working with the person. Person I think took about 3 days to get back to her to say yes. So that was very, very cool in my opinion. Because you go from like, okay, I can't charge a client more than $300 a month to my first client for 1,000. And then, okay, now I trust my process. Now I know people are willing to pay more money. Then she goes literally a couple days later and charges someone $6,000 a month for it. It's like the key thing, just like I was saying. So clients are coming in bunches because your marketing is working, but now you have the confidence and the competency to really push past your nerves to be able to go after those higher paying clients. So it's amazing. It's amazing. So, just what it takes in this game. A lot of this stuff is about timing. It's about a lot of little factors that you speak about, with every single person, like individually. And all I can say is that you grow your business like really quickly. You just have to be very precise when you're starting out. That's how I actually went and like got my first client. Now, number one thing you can do is go ahead and pick the right platform, like LinkedIn, Instagram, maybe Facebook groups. Now, if you're in a pinch and you already have a bunch of Facebook groups that you're already inside of, you've probably chosen Facebook as your main platform. Go make sure in communities where the business owners are more likely to be established, bigger, and already hiring contractors. Now, once you're inside of there, you can start going and making relationships, and then you can start going and asking them to get on the phone with you. Now, once you ask them to get on the phone with you, you get on the phone, you do the consultation, and you grow. Now, if you want a little bit more detail, there's a couple of different ways you can go. So, for example, one, we have a free training in this channel that shows you how to actually handle the sales calls, how to actually prepare beforehand and like what to say ahead of time. So you can get a grasp of that. So you can probably go and type in like if you go to my like channel, my actual YouTube channel, you just type in like sales or sales script or preparing for a sales call, you'll see a number of different like videos that can just like walk you through how to do sales. We even have like a video where we break down the consultation like section. So it just makes it easier for you to like feel comfortable before you have to go and like do it in the moment, right? Because one thing we really focus on whenever I mentor someone is like we want to make sure that like your first consultation call you do, if you use the marketing methods and it's like in the right process, like the right set, like we need for that person to close right away. So you have that initial confidence and it kind of leads this upward trajectory of like we can do this, you can do this, you have this, you got this. So that's what I'm always focused on. So even further, like that's what we do inside like the mentorship program. Now, if you want some help and you don't want to go and recreate the wheel, you want to just go for like the shortest, fastest time possible to really be in control of your income, your life, and just really want to take care of your family for generations to come. Go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me. I want to see you on the call. I want to see if I can help you. I want to see if the program's a good fit for you. Okay. So I know it's a really strong call to action, but it's just because our track record is so impeccable, right? We don't accept everybody inside the program because I only want to work with the people who I know I can help because I'm running my accounting firm and a mentorship program at the same time. I don't just want to like take on a bunch of random people who don't like me and people who I can't help out because now I have like a more it's like um what's it called? Internal drag, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to help this person out. This person's struggling. This person hates me. This person's mad. I don't want to do stuff like that, right? I really want to work together with people who's a good fit. We both feel it's a mutual good fit when we work together. So you can actually go and make it to 10, 15, $20,000 per month in a very short period of time. So I know that, you come in, you change your life, you make sure you know exactly how you can move forward and be in full control, okay? And then we just grow together and you keep moving forward. Yeah. So, and then if you decide you want to keep going, you can decide whether you want to go to 30, 40, $50,000 a month. That's one thing that we really enjoy as well. Some people, you make it to 150, 200K per year, and it's just like, okay, cool. That's all you want, and you just basically stay there. Some people want to go higher, right? I wanted to go higher. So that's why I like have both the accounting business as well as the mentorship business. I just want to be able to scale without necessarily having to have too much organizational drag going. So yeah. So that's you. I'd love to see you on the call. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.